Rolling along from SEC Media Days, and we'll be catching up with LSU Day here. Catching up with a couple of LSU Tigers, catching up with LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. Welcome in, man, making the trip out here to Media Days. What's this all like?
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for having me. It's an unbelievable experience, just getting to represent LSU and what that means, to me and also to my other teammates that are here. It's a really cool experience, and we're all very thankful.
It's got to be crazy for you. I mean, you've sat, you waited your turn, you've waited your opportunity. Now it's your chance to kind of show what you can do. What's the journey kind of been like these last couple years, particularly watching Jaden do special things, winning a Heisman and all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's been a process, and I've had to put a lot of faith into God and to trust in Him and His plan for me. And then, getting to watch Jaden and learn different things from him. Obviously, if I have, nearly the amount of success that he was able to have last year, I'll be pretty happy, one of the things, for me, obviously our skill set is very different. So getting to learn, how to interact with my teammates off the field from him, or how to lead, watching him in the building and the way that he interacted day to day. I got to learn a lot from Jaden, and, I'm a big fan of his, and I'm excited for him at the next level.
You guys lose a couple of big-time receivers, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr. go on to be first-round picks, but it feels like some of those guys that you were maybe running on second team with, Chris Hilton and some other guys, like you were able to develop that chemistry. So it's kind of like while you move up the depth chart, they move up the depth chart. What's that kind of been like? Because, man, the spring game it looked like you guys been playing football for years together.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Getting to experience those different situations with all those guys. Me and Chris Hilton came in together. And there are a couple other guys that I'll be playing with this year that we came in the same class. And we got to spend a lot of time together. Like you said, from the bottom of the depth chart freshman year, slowly building our ways up to now starting. And there's a lot of time there, a lot of time spent there. A lot of relationships that have been built, between me and my teammates, just being around each other at all times as much as possible. And I think that's the biggest part. Everything that happens on the field, it all starts with the relationships, that you guys have off the field. So.
You get a lot of people who throw out Will Campbell's name out there, and for good reason. I mean, he's a heck of a player. But just how about your offensive line? And, what is it, 4 or 5 starters coming back?
Yeah, they're an unbelievable group. Just what they've been able to accomplish this offseason so far as just taking control and taking charge as leaders, it's something special. I don't even know how to describe, their group. They call themselves the Bomb Squad, and they're just, they're nasty. They're on time to everything. They're early to everything. They work harder than anybody, and they push all of us to try and catch them. And I think that's been the best thing is when you have that type of group and that type of leadership up front in the offensive line unit, it does, wonders, more than people know. And Coach Davis does an unbelievable job with them as well, just preparing them to play, preparing them to be ready to lead.
You touched on it a little bit, but the expectations of playing quarterback now at LSU, there were many years it was kind of we'll see. But, you get Joe through there, you get Jaden through there. Now there's an expectation. You got to put up numbers. You got to make things happen at that position.
Yeah, pressure is a privilege, and obviously we've had very successful quarterbacks here lately. And, I understand that there's a responsibility and an expectation, but, I try not to think too much about it. There's an expectation just being the starting quarterback at LSU in general, of a standard that you have to hold yourself to and who you represent. And so, I'm very blessed. I thank God every morning when I wake up that this is the life I get to live right now. And I'm hopefully, I am where I'm supposed to be at. And so I'm very thankful and I'm very excited to get to, go out there and compete.
Sometimes you lose an offense coordinator. It's a little tough. It's a little bit of an adjustment, but at least you guys got the full bowl prep to go through with Joe Sloan and Cortez Hankton. And again, those guys have been there. It's not like you brought in somebody from the outside. So how much does that continuity kind of help? While yes, the label is new OC, it's guys who've been there.
Yeah, Coach Sloan and I, we have a really, really good relationship. And, he's been very honest and very hard on me since the moment that, he got there. And so, just getting to work with him, he set a plan out for me early on what I needed to improve on. And he's done an unbelievable job of holding me to it and helping me, find ways to improve every parts of my game. And so, as he's taken over, it's only, just gotten better. Just being able to have those conversations with him between a coordinator and a quarterback and, also a quarterback coach. But you have that relationship there that's been there for 3 years now. And so, he can always be honest with me. And, I feel like, we're at a point where I can be honest with him and tell him how I feel about certain situations. And he's going to give me honest feedback. And so, if you've been to an LSU practice, you've heard Coach Sloan, rip into me a couple times. So I really enjoy our relationship and I really appreciate it. And I I think he's very, very good at what he does, and I think we're gonna be very, very successful because of him.
I feel like your dad may have told them, "Hey, rip into him."
Yeah. They have some conversations about how they're gonna discipline me. It feels like so. That's how my dad was on me when I was a kid. So I think they bond over that almost.
It's crazy too. I mean, to have a dad who played the position. I mean, it's gotta help so much because he does have that playing experience that he can help you with. But also in the same aspect, he's a little bit harder because he knows what it takes and he knows where you got to get.
Right. Yeah. No, it's been unreal. I really, really appreciate the relationship that I have with my dad. He was able to accomplish everything that I dream of accomplishing. Just getting feedback from him, and he's kind of helped me see the path and see the way at certain times. And if I ever feel lost, just a long conversation with him will fix it, and he'll get me back in the right headspace. I'm extremely grateful for the relationship that I've built with my dad over the years, and how close we are. And he's very honest with me, and he always helps me, find the truth in every situation. So.
What was that like for you growing up in the household you did where, I mean, obviously your dad knows the position, he played it, but then also, too, you see the coaching side of it as well. And for all the moving around and everything you guys had to do as a kid.
Yeah, I'm extremely blessed of the life that I got to live as a young kid. I moved 12 different times. My dad was a part of, extremely top programs while I was growing up, Alabama, Florida, Michigan, and offensive coordinator at those places. And I was a 12-year-old kid running around these campuses, and running around these practice fields, watching players like Jake Locker and A.J. McCarron, Drew Stanton. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so, I idolized these guys when I was a kid. And I idolized my dad and how he was interacting with them. So, it's always been a dream of mine just to be in the shoes that I'm in now. So I'm extremely blessed, and being able to see it as a kid, it kind of prepared me, I guess you could say, for this moment now.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I talked with Harold about this before you joined us of, normally teams, whenever you're asked about huge games, the response is, oh, well, we got to play so-and-so first. That hasn't been an issue for you guys. I mean, how about just being able to get that immediate strong test right out the gate against SC?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great game. Obviously, they got a good football team. They have a very good football coach, and they're going to come prepared. They're going to come ready to play. And so, for us, I think, the biggest focus this offseason has been about building our culture. And it starts with Coach Kelly's process, and how we interact every single day and the way that we do things. So I think that process will lead us, day by day to be ready, come September. So we're focused on our process right now.
What'd you see out of the defense? Obviously, I think everybody knows it was a little bit not up to the LSU standard for a good bit of last year, but a whole new staff. And Coach Kelly sends a message bringing in all new guys. But, I mean, dudes from Blake Baker as the DC to Bo Davis on the D-line, Kevin Peoples, Corey Raymond. I mean, these are all big-time hires. What have you seen, at least just tangible differences so far in that defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an extremely, extremely talented group. And, I think these coaches that Coach was able to bring in are all very, very good. Coach Baker's system is unreal. Challenged me every single day of spring ball. It tests me every single day, even now into the summer. And it's something that's to be honest, it's hard to play against. And you have to always be aware of different things. And then when you look at the talent that we have outside of that, we have guys like Perk, Greg Penn, and the guys that have came in at safety, and Major Burns, and the corners that have continued to develop and work. We've got a great group, a great scheme, a great system. And, I think that, I'm very excited to see what they're going to be able to accomplish, and hopefully, quiet a lot of haters.
You like wearing that red no contact jersey when Perk is closing it on,
ain't
right?
no doubt about that. That red, it feels nice wearing that red when I see Perk. So.
Talking with Garrett Nussmeier, LSU quarterback. So as you prepare for the season, what are some things you start to do? I mean, obviously you can only do so much on the practice field. Is it really just kind of taking care of your body, adding muscle when you need to, eating healthy, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into playing quarterback or playing any position really in the SEC. Obviously, you have to keep your body in top tier shape because this is the closest thing you can get to the NFL. I mean, this is the SEC. Guys are big, guys are fast, guys are physical. It's very, very talented players. And so, when you get hit, it hurts, to be real, it hurts.
Yeah.
And when you take constant hits, you got to make sure that you prepare yourself in the off season and keep your body healthy enough so that you can take those hits over and over again.
When Garrett Nussmeier's not playing football, what are you doing?
I've been working on my golf game a little bit.
Okay.
My golf game this summer has been not nearly as good as it was last summer, but I'm pretty much given up because I can't play basically from September to January. So
right.
It's a February to August type of thing, and these past couple months have not been great for me.
Short game, long game, what's the strength?
So last year I couldn't. I mean, my long game and my irons were amazing, and I could not putt or could not chip. And this summer, all of a sudden, I can chip from anywhere and I can putt from anywhere, but I can't hit a fairway to save my life. So I don't know what happened, but well, hopefully we put it together next summer. Hopefully it all comes together. So
got to figure that part out.
Yeah, I got to put 2 and 2. We'll see.
He is Garrett Nussmeier, LSU quarterback. Thanks so much for taking the time, man.
Yeah,
Really
appreciate y'all for having me. Thank
All right,
you.
more from SEC Media Days after this.